Good day, fine people. I hope you are well. Thank you for joining me once again. My name is Nick on the ZX Spectrum, and we're playing a game called Transformers 48K. This one, published by Ocean Software in 1986. It's a platformer which also came out on the Commodore 64. We're taking control of the Autobots, and we're versus the Decepticons, and a war is raging on Earth. Yes, there we go. So we can choose any one of these five Autobots. That's us. We can turn into cars. Transformers based on the toys and the films and the cartoons, of course. But basically, we must repel the evil Decepticons. Here I am as Mirage. Oh, God. Okay, right. So the controls are a little bit awkward here. But basically, we've got an energy problem. So we need to... let's try and get the hang of this. Bit of color clash here. We need to collect 4 energy pods and take them back to the central bit of the base. And each time we can return back to change into another robot. Now, if you have this one back in the day, let me know. See, we've got the shields, power, and the weapons. This is the first time I've played this, and I am finding the controls really awkward to play. And remember, I'm commentating at the same time. So, Earth is invaded by robots from the planet Cybertron. And we're the Autobots to save the Earth from the Decepticons. And in this case, I've blown up, getting energy pods and returning to those square cross things. Here I am. This is Optimus Prime, probably the most famous one of all of them. You can turn into a big truck. Now, if you've got the Optimus Prime toy that can turn into a big truck, then comment below. I used to have a few Transformers as a kid, but I haven't got them anymore. As an adult, I'm quite tempted to buy some, you know. Anyway, that's a teleport. That gets us back to base if we want to. So, explore the map. You can turn into your vehicle by facing forward and pressing the fire button. There's an advantage for doing that. At the moment, I don't know what that is. The Decepticons will keep firing at us as we go down. You can fall any length of distance. Now, these reviews aren't about expert gameplay, which is probably coming across quite quickly. They're all about how you would have found the game in your first or second go, how does it play, what the graphics like, what the sound like, would there have been enough there for you to want to go back and play again, as I've got 2 Transformers already destroyed. Now, in this case, I think, although I don't really understand the game a great deal, it's the subject matter which would make me keep coming back, because it's Transformers, isn't it? Transformers, Robert in disguise, or Robots in disguise. I don't know who Robert was, someone at school probably. Yes, I would have kept coming back to the subject matter there. Oops, we crashed down there. One of those games to put a bit of time in. Commodore 64 probably has got slightly different colour. If you played that one back in the day, let me know. But I was a big fan of the Transformers cartoon. I did have, as I say, a couple of Transformers toys, but I think if I had 4 other ones, they would have joined together to make a massive big robot, and that was always the dream. Then I didn't get those other 2. I probably spent my pocket money on something else. Probably some ZX Spectrum games like Jack and the Beanstalk and all those terrible choices that you make as a kid. Right, we're flying up in the sky. That's as far as we can potentially get. If you are a Transformer, then comment below. Are you an Autobot, a Decepticon, or something else? You can control Bumblebee in this, who turns into a Volkswagen Beetle. But there's been lots of Transformers movies. Admittedly, I've seen none of them. I presume they're not really that deep. Like, I wouldn't read a Transformers novel. But, you know, I haven't seen them, so I don't know. They might be absolutely brilliant in the work of art. I think that's one of the energy pods. There, is it? Yes, right. I think that's one energy pod. Now, we need to return that back to base. I think it's an energy pod of the cube, anyway. Let's just walk around like a nincompoop. Oops, I've turned into... It's a Porsche now I've turned to. This is Jazz. And you can teleport back to base like that, I think. I think I've done that wrong. I think I need to return that thing back to the central bit where I started from. Because I've got no sense of direction, I need to, yes, I need to find that back. Now, big thank you, always a big thank you to everyone that's subscribed on the channel and watching this far into the video. That always helps the watch time there. If you want to help the channel continue, then please consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And if you want to be a big help, then click on the join button to become a member to get members perks where you get, well, in the live streams you get a little asterisk next to your name. I think in the comment section you do as well. And you get access to the members section so you can see what videos are going to go up next week. Hooray! Right, here we go. Big thank you to the members there. Numbers go up and down, but if you've been there a long time, then thank you very much to you. I love you. When I manage to do a Friday walk, I will shout your name, or at least in a video. This is Bumblebee. Bzzz. Right, he's in yellow, he's clashing against the side, and so the levels, although different colours, they're quite similar in design. We're on Earth, apparently. I don't know where on Earth this is. Maybe some big metal works. But our energy problem, we've got a big energy problem. We need to find 4 bits of the cube, get it back to the centre, and then we're winning. Yeah, there used to be, in the cartoon, I can't remember really the Decepticons' names, but I don't think this was one of them. There was one called Psykill. Anyway, let's have another go. There they are, the 4 guys. Or women. I don't know if they're male or female robots. I haven't seen the cartoon, or well, I've seen a bit of the cartoon, but those are all different characters. Right. Do you collect Transformers? How many were there? Comment in the comment section below. But it's classic kids' toys. Would have sold a few copies of this game just because of the title. So it's called Transformers. Sometimes people call it The Transformers, but it's Transformers anyway. Robots in disguise, or more than meets the eye. There we go. Great fun as a kid, and it really opened up the kids' imagination. If we turn to this Formula 1 car, hope it doesn't break down, but don't go off the edge. I think when we go into the car, we take less damage and we can go a bit quicker, I think. But the robot is the thing that can fly. Some bits you can bash into, some bits you can't. If you see an energy pod, then shout out in the comment section below. Now, I presume, I don't know this for sure, I presume there's more than one Transformers game because it was such a huge franchise. If you know any other ones, then please put them in the comment section below because I can try and track them down. I bet there was some on the Amiga, I bet there was some on the Mega Drive, I bet there was some everywhere. Or was this the only one? I find that very hard to believe. Right, brum brum brum, we're going driving now, up and down this really weird green road. Follow the green brick road. Where are the pods? Where are they? So, this won't be a walkthrough, you know this already. It's just me talking basically rubbish. It's like you're around a friend's house, you've both loaded the game, you maybe had a brief look at the instructions, but nothing too much, and you're making sound effects, and you're not doing your homework, and you're seeing how the game plays. Anyway. Earth's always been invaded by someone. What's happened there? I think it's crashed. Oh, look at that. It's because I put a poke on it. I'm going to have to reset the thing. It's because I put a poke on it, folks. Let's reset. Yes, I'd sneakily used a poke for infinite energy, which I'm not quite sure worked or not, to show you a bit more of the game. But then it froze, you know. Cheaters never prosper. So no, let's have one last proper go on that. I think the logo on the right is the Autobots, or is it the left? Anyway, one of the two. We're back on the keyboard. If you completed this game, let me know. So we'll just have one last go without infinite strength or any help there, and it probably means the go will last super duper quickly. I think in the last go I bashed into the sides, which would have cost me beforehand. But I'm finding flight extremely difficult with this thing. Right, there's a bit of inertia as well. It'll gradually go down the screen. Whoops, here he goes. Right, go Mirage. I don't know too much about Mirage. Oh, look at that. I mean, shot in the bottom now. Yes, I don't know too much about Mirage. What robot was that? Was that available as a toy? Was him chased by a green pooch? Let's go through here. Drop down. Remember, if you drop down in vehicle mode, you will explode. That's something to remember if you're a young Transformer watching this and want to be an old Transformer. There we go, conversion. Down we go. A map will be quite useful here, but because lots of the screen look the same, I'm finding it a little bit tough to navigate. But so what can we say about this then? Well, a great franchise, a great title. Bit of colour clash. Like the idea you can transfer easily between one road or another. It moves a little bit slow. It's a very awkward control system in my mind. Very, very quiet. Could have a bit more music involved, but it is 48k. You die quite quickly, but apart from that, you know, there's lots to explore there. You've got a choice of 5 different characters to fly around in, and that would have kept a child going, I believe. So, as an adult, I don't think I'd go back to it too much, but as a kid, I would have done quite a bit just because of the name Transformers. The name sort of like sells it, and it's a kid's imagination which adds loads and loads to the game, which is something unfortunately we lose a little bit as adults. But yeah, basic as it is, great title, game is okay. Ocean Software, they did churn out the games. Right, who's that fella? You probably know before I click on it. It's a Hound of the Baskervilles. He's Green Man in a magenta world. But these Decepticons, they keep on coming. When we blow them up, they just regenerate. I did have a list of the Decepticons' names, but I haven't got them on my bit of paper. But the Autobots, of course, the good guys, that's the only ones we're interested in. Optimus Prime, Hound, Jazz, Mirage, and Bumblebee. I think my favourite's probably Bumblebee, but Optimus Prime, if you're going to put the list of the most famous Transformers out there, Optimus Prime is probably the top, isn't he? He's the head honcho. They're from some strange planet, and they've engineered themselves to change into vehicles to avoid detection on Earth. I don't know if it works. I suppose you could make a real-life Transformer, couldn't you? A car that transforms into a robot. Right, there we go. That's something useful. I think that's one of the energy pods. What else could it be? And now we need to fly back to the central bit before we teleport back to base. Without getting shot by these things, of course. Yeah, I mean, you're a bit of a sitting duck a lot of the time with these characters. They don't move very quickly. They're not like any sort of like a protective robot I'd like to see. They need to get a move on. Oh man, Decepticons in our face everywhere. Right now, see, this is the bit where I'm completely lost. I'm walking in midair, like Alan Jones. I'm walking in midair. Doo-doo. Oh, Biff. Didn't have a sequel as far as I'm aware. There wasn't a Transformers 2. It doesn't say... Well, I'm surprised it didn't come out on the Amstrad CPC. It might have done. It does. In my notes, it just says Commodore 64. But my notes have been wrong in the past. This isn't encyclopedic, this channel. Which, you know, some people don't always get. We're having a laugh, folks. It's stress busting. We're focusing on that. We're having a laugh, people. We don't care if we're playing it properly or not. We're just seeing how the game plays, and we're colour clashing in a green Jeep at the moment. Hooray! There we go. If you own a green Jeep, does your car clash when you go past the background in real life? Or is it just when you go past magenta stuff? Let us know. Right, where's this road going? It looks like it's the road to nowhere, and that's a cue to a song, which I won't sing, so well done. Well done, you. If you're watching these live as they go up, there tends to be 2 zxspectrum reviews every Saturday, and it's been like that, well, forever, as we slowly get up to 1,000, yeah, believe it or not, 1,000 games reviewed on the zxspectrum. Other stuff's available too, but if you want to see them, click on the username, then that takes you to the channel page, click on playlists, and zxspectrum will be there, as long as, as well as a number of other systems too. Yeah, we've got a reviewed game so far playlist, which gives you videos of 50 games in a row in bite-sized chunks of everything covered ever. On the channel, of course. But how am I still going? Well, it's thanks to the members, really, and the subscribers. It's tough going on YouTube because, well, there's lots and lots of channels that come and go very, very quickly in a fanfare of what's names. Biff. I need a shout out by someone massive, really, like Big Daddy. He's quite big, you know, or someone. Right, away we go. Maybe if Elon Musk can give me a shout out on Twitter, that might help. Or if PewDiePie shouts me out, but I think that's extremely unlikely. So I'll keep going. Let's just have a bit of fun here as I drive along in my Bumblebee car, which is like a Volkswagen Beetle, a bit like that one as Herbie Goes Bananas. That'd be a good film. Herbie versus Bumblebee. Who would win there? Right. I haven't got long for this planet, and I've crashed into the ceiling and blown up. That would have been a very short film, wouldn't it, really? Game over. Press fire if you want to start again. Well, I hope you liked having a look at that one. You pretty much know what I think about the game. Without the franchise name, it would be pretty lackluster and pretty slow, but with the Transformers name, it sort of like works just about. So, hope you liked having a look at that one. That was Transformers on the zxspectrum 48K, published by Ocean Software in 1986. If you've got any comments about this game, similar games, or anything retro, then please put that in the comment section below. You're always more than welcome. Until next time, take great care of yourself, and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.